Hello everyone and welcome back to the Bodybuilding Brawl League Season 3. We're here for the upper division looking at Paranoia taking on Quist. Paranoia playing as the mercenaries, Quist playing as the undead. We have a walk in the fog here. Paranoia has crushed the will, Quist has marked for death. You can see that they all rank 4 here, so we're going to expect 3 heroes and 5 henchmen and a leader. All of the wordstone is clumped up very nicely here, but none of them actually need it. You see that Paranoia's morale here is a little bit above average here, pretty good at 130 in the top left corner of the screen, while Quist is an amazing 148. That is extremely impressive, especially if he has a zombie with him. So they're gonna be a little bit tough to rout here, both of the teams. Might be a fight here around the wordstones anyway. I'm gonna see the deployment coming on. Jumping ahead until the deployment is done. So here we are for the very first turn here. We're gonna skip ahead on some of Quist's units, but before we do, let's take up the league table and check out these two players. We see Paranoia's played 2 games. He has 1 win and 1 loss. So far, I believe he lost to Clyde and he won against Karond. Quist, meanwhile, has 2 losses to his name, and hopefully he can find his very first victory here. We will see. He lost to Clyde as well, and he also lost to Karond. Gonna see how they are doing here. Paranoia is probably a favor here due to the 2 Let's Got Talent warriors with their overpower. Very powerful. So you see a Wolf Priest here being the 3rd choice for Paranoia. It's we did see a zombie here, so there is a zombie for Quist. You did see that? As soon as he quit the turn there was a brief moment where you could see a unit icon of Quist. This was coming up, so this is a zombie moving. Another part of the game that's a slightly bit buggy here that many of the players are using. Of course, the most prominent one is that once you've seen a character, you hold your cursor over him on the minimap, and after that you will see the opposing characters coming up, what kind of characters they are, and a little bit about their initial stats that you can see on the main screen. Anyway, seems to have put forth a direction here. Paranoia. Gonna see if this is the direction that Quist is going. But a Wolf Priest is pretty powerful once he gets going. He starts out as one of the strongest heroes. Not really on par with the Globadier due to the Poison Globe, of course, but he has a very high weapon skill. He has very good psychology. He's overall a very good character as it stands. And his late spells are all very effective and they don't cost too much to cast, which is a boon in this kind of setup of a league here, that the two red pill spells here, they are at a little bit of an advantage because they provoke a higher chance of casting and they get less curse chance to begin with. But they can be very impactful. Particularly the Winter Shield here for the Wolf Priest is a very deadly spell. So a zombie with 148 morale, that is quite impressive. By Quist is really focused on the leadership here, and why wouldn't you? It makes your warband difficult to rout, and that's exactly what you want in this kind of setting, since this is exhibition we are playing. They are playing exhibition, and in the meantime they are playing a PvE game in between each match, as you might well know from now. It's gonna be interesting to see what Quist has picked up for his 3rd hero. Could be a Necromancer. A Necromancer would be a relatively good choice here. Could also be a Globadier. Globadier would also be a very good choice, particularly against a lot of the magic incoming later on. as the Globadier can definitely shut them down. Remember that there are no consumables allowed here, and that means that the Strangling Globe, which is without save, can cut down everyone that is using Insult or other leadership skills, as well as every single spellcaster from casting for 2 turns. Gonna pray, that's probably intentional, I suppose. Then it's gonna remove the idol here.
Objectives update.
Take it with him, see if he can deploy it somewhere. That is always sending out a kind of signal of where you're going as well with your warband. Like if you take your idol, then you're not really advancing in the straightest path towards your opponent, because if you were, it would be pointless to bring the idol. If you bring the idol, then you're more or less just bringing it closer to your enemy and then being more susceptible to getting the -60 morale. But if you take the idol, you're sort of saying that, well, it is possible that my opponent, can reach my wagon and therefore take my idol. That's why I'm taking it with me. So you're probably going on a little bit of a detour, and if Quist is figuring this out, he should know exactly where Paranoia is going, because that is the more or less the only detour path to go. Looks to be a handgun here.
The round has started.
Gonna skip away on the question marks until we see some units, only following the movement of Paranoia. Here's a very nice setup you have here. If you look at Paranoia, how he's moving and how he's positioning his unit in this Walk of Fog deployment. So you see it, he puts all of the units that are heroes, which have 1 blue pill or even 2 blue pills with the captain, as far away as possible, because he knew he was going down this route, and putting the henchmen up so that they get a little bit of a movement advantage, a bit of a head start. Then you can catch up with the entire warband come your final destination. They will all be there. It's a very good move, something people should learn from. Don't really see any units just yet. Going up with the first unit here of Paranoia's to move very shortly. You can see the 65 here on the initiative ladder. Quist units has been using a few delays to get to that position, and might be an archer. Ulrich's Gift, another one of the good spells here, especially gonna be good with the Laska Talent Warriors here, since you do increase the amount of damage that you do, and that is gonna be a big key part here for Paranoia. Also remember that Ulrich's Gift is good as it is already right now. One of the main things that we always bring up here with the Laska Talent is that they're pretty poor with the all alone checks right now. They start out with they need to get 9 intelligence to master the Laska Talent, meaning that they have very few attribute points, mental points left over for leadership at the earlier start, so they are very vulnerable to that, and we have seen that in some of Paranoia's games and in some of the other games as well. But Ulrich's Gifts, this is where it comes in. It increases hit chance and melee damage by 10%, 20% if it's mastered, but it also grants immunity to all alone. So that is definitely something that Paranoia can leverage to his advantage here if he wants to do a little bit of casting. Might be looking here to switch to some pistols as well, I assume. Yes, he is. Might recognize here that Quist does not have too many ranged units. He has a mostly melee warband, and only the Dreg here can really pull out something with the range. But he always starts with a bow with the Dreg, Quist that is, but he does not have the Dreg spec'd as a ranged character. He is a melee character focusing entirely on weapon skill, so he wants to use a bow and then switch as soon as the fight comes on. Meaning that it might be up to Quist here to engage, and then he's gonna walk into some of the Overwatchers here. Gonna be a bit vulnerable in those positions with the Overwatchers, of course. We've seen that, for instance, with some of the games played by Fenrir, who started out with almost everyone using pistols like this, and it's been not a good ride for him. Fenrir, a lower division player, the only player so far in the league that has not won a single game. Hope that his luck turns around. Gonna see if we can see someone at some point here. Chances are that they are missing one another, because Quist might have moved straight ahead and then he would be about to go through the buildings here at the center very soon.
A new round has started.
You can see Paranoia planning out some of his upcoming positions. Still haven't seen a single one of Quist's characters though. So characters have been spotted here, and we might see the first jockeying for positioning between Paranoia and Quist. You can see the 65 that Quist has been delaying with quite a lot, although we haven't cashed it too much in the recording. Is a Globadier. We've also seen a Ghoul coming in. So Quist has gone for one of the powerful choices here with the Globadier, and I hope it's going to do him really well. Of course, he had that Globadier already since in his previous game. That's also available on YouTube on this particular channel. We see a Ghoul here, and we see the Globadier, and we see his actual position, and that could be a position. Could he reach that with some shooting? Might be just out of reach, especially now since he gets to move. So we do see a poison cloud here right away for Quist, and this is one of the new trickier things with playing against the Globadier, which is that there is a visual bug right now that as soon as you cast a poison cloud, a second poison cloud will appear on the map, but will not actually do anything. It will be a false one. You can see that on the right side here of the captain. Let's see if you're gonna see that. I will see it on the minimap. Itching ever closer to the building, while still staying relatively protected here. could be an Overwatch that might see itself being triggered. Could go into the right here, into the house, take up a different position, because right now he's gonna put himself in a position where he can be shot at, and I thought that was the whole thing here, that he didn't want to do that. If the Globadier is relatively nearby here, I think actually going out and taking an Overwatch and then coming in doing a poison cloud on these 3 units would be a good choice for Quist. He will gain on that. It depends on how many Overwatches we're gonna set up here, of course. There are quite a few. It's gonna cost some unit quite a bit of wounds here to get out. Yeah. In this way, Paranoia is protecting his units despite putting them out like that in the open. There are so many Overwatches here that someone is gonna take a bit of damage if they want to go in and throw out some poison globes. So an important game for these 2 players. Of course, Paranoia is hoping to catch up with some of the top here in the upper division and then maybe grab a top 6 spot. Quist is, due to his warband under this, considerably weaker in this kind of format than some of the other warbands, well, particularly all the other warbands. So he's coming back from a disadvantage, and he is not as leveled as many of the other players here, so I think Quist is probably going to be resigned to ending up in the bottom. He's an experienced Mordheim player though, so he could pull off something. He's the hope for the undead. We'll see if he's gonna get his first victory here against Paranoia. The Lads Got Talent advantage is not as pronounced right now, as some of Quist units should have around 7 red pills, which is only 1 less than the Lads Got Talent heroes here of Paranoia. And both of their DLC units here, the Wolf Priest and Globadier respectively, are not that leveled up, as you can see. Has 119 wounds here. Alright, what does he want to do? Ends up not doing anything. An interesting aspect here, since Quist was moving towards the easiest path to go through the houses here, we might see that Quist has already gotten through with some of his units, and if that is the case, he could actually do some kind of flanking maneuver here with some of his units, then coming in with the rest from the front. Poison Cloud, probably an Overwatch if you try to go through there. That is a very brave move by Paranoia. We don't really know where many of the units are, because they've been chatting a little bit here, going in with the camping. Paranoia being a little bit cheeky here, and we approve. He can actually shoot into that window there, so if he moves out a little bit, we might see that. It's also in if you just round around the corner coming out from Poison Cloud, then you will actually not trigger the Overwatch. Is it worth the 20%? Apparently it is. Let's see what happens. Nothing. As with most Divine Casters in the game so far. Picks on the Baron Leopold, the captain here as well. Ulrich's Gift. Nothing again. Very familiar to anyone who's watched the Sisters of Sigmar so far. He needs to be aware of the window here. The zombie is just right around the corner here. If we can trigger that ambush and get him into the Poison Cloud, and then have another unit flanking. One of the main things with the Poison Wind Globe there, when we say this all the time, is that a lot of the time players tend to use the Poison Wind Cloud in a way that they think is really smart for that current turn, but then they found in the coming 2 turns that they really need to go through their own Poison Cloud, so they end up damaging themselves just as much as the enemy. And Quist does not have too many zombies. He should have 1, and the rest should be ghouls, and they're very much affected by the Poison Cloud here. Only thing that isn't really is the vampires. Vampire Thrall and the Vampire. Need to utilize them in combination here with the Poison Wind Globe there. It's gonna be great for him once he gets the 6th red pill. He's gonna be casting 2 of those a turn. And nothing else for a long while. Paranoia's a lot of Paranoia's units here coming up. Let's see if they want to do something brave. Probably moving in towards the house here too, but is it the case that a lot of Quist units are in there, or are they just outside? And could there be some units in the buildings that Paranoia left behind here, so we could see a flanking attack occurring? It's probably an ambush that you can just walk into if you come from the corner of that building. Not all people will though. Hoping to catch the idol here. You can see that the idol is unguarded, and it's gonna help with bringing down the overall morale here of Paranoia, which is very, very high. Not setting up an ambush here. I thought he would. Protecting some of his shooters and of course the wolf priests. That is an interesting spot. He needs to be careful if the Dreg can still do a bit of damage. Even if he doesn't have too much in the way of ballistic skill, he can still do a bit of damage with a bow if they cycle in here. Barely seen any of Quist units. We're seeing if one of them is going to be revealed here soon.
A new round has started.
Here comes the Globadier. What does he want to do? Is he going to trigger one of the Overwatchers here and take quite a bit of damage? Remember, he only has 119 wounds. That's probably what Paranoia is hoping for here. Well, the ideal way would be actually to get a critical hit off. Which there might be a chance of, considering that Globadier does not have too much in the way of critical hit resistance at the start of his career. In fact, it's only 2 critical hit resistances. Critical hit resistance, I mean. So we already hear one of the poison clouds. Okay, that might be changing Paranoia's plans a little bit, or hoping that he can actually catch the Globadier somehow. He's relatively easy to kill. He holds the idol, so he provides a lot of morale loss if Paranoia can get him. That is an interesting position that Paranoia finds himself in right now. Because look at this, he's trying to find the Globadier to see exactly where he is. But even if when he do find him, you can see it. We've seen another ghoul in the left part of the map. And yeah, that's a confirmed stay in one of those houses. Meaning that Paranoia might want to continue going after the Globadier, yeah, and cutting him off in this way, I think that's brilliant. This is most likely where the Globadier is going. Seeing another ghoul here, so with that in mind, he's hoping to get an Overwatch off and see if the Globadier is not wanting to run by here. And if he can catch him... Oh wow, we actually see another ghoul. Wow, he could have put himself in an awkward position right there. Remember, he's not in a stance to do any fighting either. Now, that ghoul could definitely come in and do some heavy damage. Probably should do that. Do damage from the one Lance got talent here without any stance on him. He can provide a lot of damage, especially if some of the vampires are hiding behind this southern wall that he's trying to overlook. Oh, I did actually see the Globadier there. Well, does he want to go the other way? Will that split up his warband a bit too much? I'm gonna see what Paranoia decides upon. He definitely needs to reinforce that last talent though, in case he... Yeah, he's gonna do that straight away. In case some of the ghouls come in. See the ghoul here behind the wall. One of the issues, of course, is that the movement here of the captain is not really at the same level as some of the vampires if they want to charge in. There we go, so he's very close to the wagon actually, he's just on top of it. Might that trigger some sort of response? We're 45 minutes into the game here. Still haven't had a shot fired so just yet, but really waiting to see where is the zombie, where are the vampires, and can they do some damage. Strangely, it didn't go in into ambush there. Well, it's hunting season for the Globadiers. This is all we're waiting for. Let's see how they maneuver around that situation. Is Quist gonna feel compelled here to go in and start a fight so that the Globadier can come in and reinforce and help and support the fight with a well-placed aim as well as a poison globe? Well, that's a very forward situation to be in, and that's definitely gonna be an Overwatch that's gonna be triggered here unless the Globadier does not want to move. What are the players thinking a little bit?
A new round has started.
Alright, let's see if one of the Overwatches here is gonna trigger. Should be doing that. And it should of course be the risk here, even if it's relatively low, that there's gonna be a critical hit and a stun. Remember, he starts with 2 toughness, that's 2 critical hit resistance. Actually finds a way here to do damage without taking any return. Shooting through the fence. How far does he want to take this? Seems to have greater range here than Quist does. Manages the 34% poison resistance check. He's gonna take another one though. We have another Overwatch waiting here. Let's see if he wants to go in against these heroes. Should be the 44, that's the zombie. I think we remember that correctly. Meaning the 49 and 45 could be both vampires. And then we have another hero that we have not yet seen. At least Quist has dealt some damage right now without actually taking any in return. We'll see if that's gonna last come the turn of these units here. Specifically not with the ghoul there in the ambush. It's definitely gonna, yeah, some other units here. They are a little bit spread out, but Paranoia can reinforce whichever side he wants. Quist has to sort of envelop here and do his damage that way. And he seems unwilling to engage at this moment. Maybe that will tell Paranoia something, what he needs to know. Could probably go out here and shoot at him. Or just trigger the ambush. So the zombie is found as well. Yeah, he's gonna trigger the ambush here. Takes a relatively big amount of damage here, 38. And we finally have a fight on our hands, so let's see what happens. Wolf Priest coming in. Might want to get immunity to all alone on some unit here. Yes, he will. Suffers a little bit of damage. This is one of the curses here, Retribution. Let's see if the zombie can actually reach this fight. It is surprising that we do see a zombie, but it could mean an indication that Quist is actually going for a Last Got Talent ghoul eventually for his 4th hero choice. And in that case he's gonna need a zombie. Because he can only field 5 ghouls at a time. Is he within the limits? No, he seems to be just outside of it. Well, the Last Good Talent hero here has full red pills left over. He has not yet attacked to use the delay. It's coming up now. Could do some focus fire here to get with the captain to get the first ghoul. So where we see the vampire thrall is a good indication of where we're gonna see the vampire himself. He can actually reach this fight. She's gonna take some damage in return though if she does a charge here. Fails the fear test, that's at least something. Let's see if he can hit her with the counterattack. 66%. Elects not to. Maybe wants to focus on the ghoul here. It's unfortunate they failed the fear test. Minus 30%. Yeah, Annie does not look too good, and the worst thing about Annie's position here, look at the circles, is that she's actually blocking the ambush of the zombie who was covering this particular path before Annie decided to step in. Finishes the fear test. It's a bit lucky here for Paranoia, only had a 65% chance of making that. Mastered Insult, which is the first master skill I think we've seen so far. One more hit required. And one of the heroes dies here of Quist. Are we gonna see? I think the vampire is actually number 38 here in the initiative ladder. Oh, he's actually gonna trigger the ambush, no? Yeah, he is. Why did he want to trigger that? But trigger it he did. Because in the 44 is the vampire, there might be the drag then coming in the 38. Can he get to this fight? Yes he can. Probably wants to get in on the last good talent here, is already injured indeed. Fails the terror test, 52%. Barely misses here with his blue mace. Imagine if he could have hit that. Could have actually done lethal damage right now. Yeah, that could have been lethal damage to Molnar Sodnil. That would have helped Quist out tremendously. Probably doesn't want to go into the vampire, does he? Yeah, he's gonna go into the vampire. I'm worried about the actually exact angle of doing so. He's gonna take a terror test as well, and he's gonna succeed here. 49, missing the charge. I saw jaw strike there for a short moment. Not gonna have enough red pills for an overpower. But jaw strike is an interesting move here by Paranoia. Meaning that he's also trying to plan out a little bit of how to deal with magic casters. Looking for the Globadier. Quist needs the drag in this fight. He still only has a single ghoul, the zombie and the vampire, and he's down one hero. And we have lots of characters of Paranoia here ready to strike for the next turn, so he's gonna need some help. Could get a knee shot off, it's gonna reduce the initiative by -15 and manages to land that. Yeah, that might actually have saved the Last Got Talent here. It's a very good move by Paranoia. See how far away the actual ghouls are in this fight. They need to be able to reach this combat in this turn, otherwise it's gonna be very, very dangerous for Quist's chance here of winning this game, because he's completely outnumbered in that particular position. Goes through the parry here, 69% chance, it's a bit unlucky. Good of Quist, getting in more units is coming in. I'm still a bit worried about the ghouls not being able to get in here. Of course there are 2 marksmen, so it's already a bit taxing in regards to melee units, and Quist needs to leverage this advantage. Wow, he actually lands that, 49 damage.
A new round has started.
Might want to go out, trigger the overwatch from the warrior. Yes, indeed he is. Misses, but this could be a golden opportunity to pull down some very, very nice poison globes here, especially on the opening where we see several units wanting to come in. Was just not enough to kill him. Could kill him with a poison globe, and it would be a good idea to put on the poison globe so it hits the Last Got Talent warrior, as well as blocking the path here for Paranoia to get through without taking damage. Needs to place this globe very well indeed. I'm gonna see if he can make the poison resistance checks as well, otherwise that Last Got Talent might die before he gets a chance to move. He decides for another path instead, and I'm not so sure I like that. He was trying to hit many more units here, but he only hits 2 of them. Both of them making their very low poison resistance checks, so the luck here is purely with Paranoia at the moment. See, I can reach the Wolf Priest, at least something's good here. We're also 99, let's see what about the other ghouls. If they can reach this fight here, they could come in and finish off the Wolf Priest. It depends on how far off they are. You see the false poison cloud just behind the Wolf Priest here. Does he have 2 attacks? Or does he want to do a charge against someone? 2 attacks is probably gonna be better. Might be facing all alone here. He's pretty high up on the initiative ladder, the Wolf Priest. It's good luck for him that he has his passive giving him 35% chance against Fear, Terror and all alone. As well as many of the leadership tests that are in the game. Might see a focus fire here. Can he hit with the second attack? No, he cannot. Wow, that's unlucky. If he would have hit that, he could have gone into the archer here to prevent an attack going on in this turn, considering the weapons that Paranoia is using. He cannot disengage and shoot at the same time since he only has 4 red pills. This marksman. The marksman with the handgun. No one really hitting the high hit chances here in this game so far. Baron Leopold is taking a bit of damage. Yeah, this is what I would want him to do, to use the poison cloud here to block off the central path. We're still taking damage, but going against the Globadier here would be a good choice. And needs to be careful against the vampire, considering the terror could make him unable to actually do an attack. Let's see how much damage he can pull off on Goldtooth. Very nice so far. It's 52. Just gonna need another 60. Manages the roll alone check as we could have expected. Cannot disengage, but could throw down something useful. Might just want to do just that, a little bit amount of damage here before going down. And does just that, nearly 80 damage. This would be a poor fight for the captain to be in against this zombie. He might want to disengage from that. Actually uses a flea. Has 0% chance of scoring critical hits, so at least that's something. Could actually remove. Might want to do a charge here on the Globadier and kill him off. Actually going in against the leader, alright. See if he can manage his terror test. Thinking about it, he's not gonna kill the leader, but he could bring him down to within an inch where someone might be able to. Well, that is certainly doing a lot of damage. Let's see what the vampire here can pull off. Probably needs to kill the Alaska Talent Warrior first. Equalizing the score, and that was very important for Quist. Very important indeed. But what else can he bring down? His Globadier is in trouble. He needs to be able to survive one more round so he can throw down another poison cloud. Can he do that? The Wolf Priest is about to die. And the next round is that at least something. One of the ghouls here was freed up. Can he pull off some sort of all alone check against the unit here? Remember, the captain only has a single parry right now, so he could do a bit of damage on the captain. Tries to focus down the second Alaska Talent Warrior, which is also a good choice. His turn coming up. Disease carry debuff stacking. Can he kill off the Dreg here before the Dreg gets his turn? We'll see. Passes the all alone check, fails the terror test, so some good, some bad. That was the lesser of the evils. He's gonna lose a lot of his power here, Paranoia, very soon, so if Quist can just stay alive just that long. Probably wants to do a charge in here so that he's sure of doing the damage. Failing the terror test indeed. Parry check going off. Elects not to do damage. I think that's wise. Gonna get the counterattack off against the Lasco Talent Warrior here instead. Oof, walks into the poison cloud. Tries another attack here. Goes through the parry, 60%. Wow, that's not really what Quist wanted. It's gonna open him up for the Lasco Talent Warrior here. Gonna be able to do a little bit of damage. Could possibly finish him off, can't he? No, he only has 2 attacks. It's a little bit short, but oh wow. Wow, that's actually huge for Quist. That is huge. That is huge because can the last few units here actually do the amount of damage to kill the vampire before it's too late? Gonna have one of the shooters coming in. Gonna want to do an aim. Cannot do an aim. Cannot get clear line of sight on the vampire. Well, he did have big luck here earlier when he had 30% hit, but no. A 22% hit was too far-fetched. It's gonna be up to the marksman. What can the marksman do? He's feeling lucky, he says. Is he gonna kill off the second Lasco Talent Warrior? That would be a huge blow to Paranoia's combat potential, but some of the units here of Quist are pretty hurt and he's about to lose his leader as well. Manages to do that, so he's killed both of the Lasco Talents. And where can he go in from here? Who can he damage? Who can he kill? Wow, he also lost a lot of morale there because he lost the idol. Yeah, look at this, kids. This is why you don't bring the idol if you don't have a plan for depositing it or keeping it safe. Now it's only 24 morale left here. If he can... Yeah, that's gonna boost him up in initiative as well. If he can, it's a really good idea. If he can kill off the captain here, he could be in... No, he's not gonna be in risk of routing. It's too much. 24. That would mean the captain would have been have to be level 8. And he's not that. Too bad with another second strong blow here. It was a good idea. Strong blow reduces 20% parry. Needed to take off one of the parry checks. So the Globadier is gonna live. The Globadier is actually gonna live here. And that means he's gonna go down with another another very, very nice and very nasty Poison Cloud right into the middle of this, and you can center it around the vampire, I think.
A new round has started.
Manages the all alone check, that was very crucial. Let's see what he can do. Poison, okay, so we're gonna see a poison check now. Poison Cloud, center around the vampire, target as many units of Paranoia as possible. So his former Poison Cloud was not that great. Can he do a better one here? Could also hit the captain and these two units that were targeting him. Should have done that from the very start. Put an end to going through this hole. Wow. Wow, that is so surprising. He elects to do a single shot. What is Quist doing? Oh my god. This is such a mistake. Good lord, what is he doing? He could have done a lot of damage right there. Look at this, the vampire is immune. He could have gotten 3-4 characters with a poison cloud. And he does a single shot. He does a single shot. Oh wow. "60 wounds remaining on the vampire." Yeah, we're gonna see the zombie, and we're gonna see one of the ghouls coming in, and maybe Baron Leopold can get his bucket kicked. But we'll see, we'll see. The only reason Paranoia is in this mess right now is because he brought the idol in. But it's still gonna be 2 kills, so even if he loses the cap, there's gonna be 1 more kill after that. Well, the captain is open for attack, so he should go in there. Remember that warrior is probably not gonna be too effective at the 54% terror check. If he fails that, he's not gonna be able to do anything. Tying down the pistol user, alright. Would have expected him to focus on the captain. There we go, that's gonna be just enough. So 11 more wounds. Where can these 3 ghouls go? Yeah, they can tie up various marksmen, that's true. And they probably should. Well, that's unlucky. To be the first one to walk through that. Nearly 1.5 hours into this game. And a lot of the Paranoia units are taking a bit of damage here, and despite that massive mistake by Quist, this could be his game. This could be his game. If we can just get in on the mercenary captain here, he could possibly bring him down. See the zombies coming up. The zombie's gonna go into the mercenary captain, doing 2 attacks. He just needs a little bit more damage. Okay, it seems like he wants to go in there, but the zombie is actually blocking the path right now. Well, and he doesn't seem to have the movement enough to use 2 delays. So he is going to have to maybe get into that warrior who is using the pistols. Can he get in there? He's gonna go into this warrior instead. Yep, seems like it. This is the warrior that's gonna take a terror check. Gonna see how he does on that. He might be facing an all alone check here too, depending on where this goal goes. This is looking very good for Quist right now, but remember that a lot of Paranoia units are coming in, and they're not gonna take any poison resistance checks, or at least most of them are not gonna take any poison resistance checks, and they could actually turn this thing around. The vampire's almost dead, for instance. When he dies, it's gonna be a big morale blow as well. The Globadier is almost dead. It's gonna provide another blow to the morale. Terror check success, alright. So can I have 2 attacks. Goes straight through the parry, that's a bit lucky. And not for the second time. Surprising he didn't save that for the captain. He didn't need to attack there. Well, if he's gonna use... he really just shouldn't use flee here, because he's gonna flee back into the poison cloud. Take even more damage. A bit worried about the free warrior here that Paranoia has. He could go in and kill off the Globadier. I think that's the wisest choice to do with that unit. Working on the little morale. We're gonna see him now. What is he gonna do? Go into the Globadier. No, he is not going for that. He's gonna try at the... he wants to do a charge on the... Hey, there we go. Wants to do a charge. Goes in. Oh no, he succeeds at the terror test. That was lucky. That could have meant that he wouldn't have actually gotten a single attack off at all. Instead he gets 2 attacks off. What was that, a 54% as well? I think so. Can do a meal. He needs to get into the Globadier. I mean, the Globadier did a big mistake by not using the poison globe here. It's completely ignored. Well, if he gets the vampire, you know, he still has a lot of units that are very hurt, and he's gonna take a route test very soon, unless he recovers his idol. So he also needs to do that. He could go and recover his idol. I mean, he has the movement for it. Does not want to do that, just wants to tie up the zombie instead. He uses a delay here instead of a stance. The zombie's turn is coming in. The Globadier could be such a key player here. I mean, if we can just get a lot of units poisoned, since they have such low wounds left over, then Quist could win this by sheer attrition of having a much higher morale. Since the units are gonna slowly die off here for Paranoia. Opted not to do a counterattack. I don't really know why he's doing that. Gonna see the vampire going down now, even if he fails the terror test, but he does not do that. All of the heroes here are pretty hurt in the fight. Scott is the one who is the most healthy out of all of the remaining heroes. He's gonna keep being that for a little while longer. And look at this, a poison cloud into the center of this fight is gonna be excellent. Probably wants to use a disengage here, considering that he can move into the Globadier. That might be his plan with the remaining pill. Yes, it is. So we're not gonna get our shots off, but really, I should just encourage Quist not to do a shot. He should actually throw down the poison here. Look at this, he has so many characters that he can hit. Look at the captain, like, he has 4 characters that he can hit with a poison globe. Imagine the damage he could have done. Imagine if he'd done that already. He's gonna start searching for his... it's further north though. I hope to recover it here. He needs to do that. If one of his units dies, it's gonna be a route test and he could fail it. So let's see. It's the one that one of you warriors is standing over. Another all alone check. Good Good idea, very good idea for Paranoia. He manages his own all alone check. That was very lucky. He would have died there and would have taken a route test. So that was a very crucial roll. Everything is going in Paranoia's favor suddenly. Not gonna be able to do a kill here, but maybe if the Dreg here disengages and kills him. Could also cancel all alone. That could also be a good idea. Could maybe go into that very hurt and injured marksman. Cancel all alone. No. Oh wow, wow, that was actually a bit lucky. He has one more parry though. So does he really want to risk this? 38%. Oh. That would... It's hanging on a thread here. It's super exciting. Quist could have won this at any point now. 2 rolls there for a win. Oh my god. All alone check and that parry at 38%. Is he thinking about disengaging? Is he thinking about using a fleet to cancel all alone here? Yeah, he is. He's gonna cancel all alone. He should cancel all alone. I think that's what he's doing at least. I hope that's what he's doing. If you can throw the poison globe on the captain and all of those units, so you're gonna take damage and you're gonna take a poison resistance check on the start of their turn as well, so they're gonna take even more damage. Since it's starting the poison cloud. Oh no, what is he doing? Cancelled all alone. That's the first unit that's gonna move. You could do a lot of damage with him. Completely neglecting the power of the Globadier. I don't know what Quist is doing. Is this a good choice? What is the plan? Go in and cancel all alone. Oh my god, if he's gonna fail the all alone now. If he's gonna fail all alone. That was virtually useless.
A new round has started.
He's so lucky. He's so lucky. He is so lucky. He totally did not deserve that Quist. 39% chance. So let's see if you can see a poison cloud on the captain and everyone else here now. Not a shot. Oh my god, he's gonna do a shot. Fine, it's gonna be a route test anyway, but... Oh, yeah. Imagine the damage he could have done. Actually, that's gonna be GG, come to think of it, because that's the last hero of Paranoia. So Paranoia has lost this. It's all about what the score is gonna be now for Quist. 4 ghouls are coming in. They're gonna kill off... well, we have 1 warrior that's very hurt. We have 1 marksman that's very hurt. Getting a lot of points here, Quist. Yeah, I mean, really what Paranoia should be doing in this situation is just voluntarily routing, because should have ended 4-2, now it's gonna end 5-2, then 6-2 most likely. So Paranoia is gonna lose by a wider margin than he needed to. And there's another warrior here who has a parry stance, but probably going to die anyway. Here we go. So instead of 4-2 we have 6-2, it's ramping up. Remember that all of these points are very important for the overall table and your final position. Gonna have 1 more attack. What does he want to do with it? Well, theoretically could finish off the warrior that he started fighting on. Could get a 7-2 here. Goes into a completely different warrior. Alright. Last unit to move in the match. Cheryl. What can Cheryl do? Must have been someone else that would have been a much better choice here, no? So So we learn a lot of things from this game here, picking up the idol, when you should do it and when you shouldn't, and in this case Paranoia did not really get a chance here to get it off and even get it back. He had the opportunity to do so but elected not to, probably didn't really remember exactly where it was. Also learn a little bit about how to use the poison globes. Maybe it was a good choice to do the shooting here at the very end, and because he was gonna win anyway if he got the captain, and 2 poison resistance checks could have happened, so we don't really know, but he could have done a lot of damage earlier on with the poison cloud. And he was not really moving into this area either. He moved around with all of the ghouls, if you remember, from the backside. And there we go, GG, 6-2 to Quist. Congratulations to Quist, getting your first victory in the upper division, and too bad for Paranoia with the luck here. Thank you all for watching, I hope you enjoyed this game. It took around 1.5 hours, 1 hour and 40 minutes. Thank you for watching as always, and hope you enjoyed the game. Farewell for now.